Hello, everyone. Thank you to anyone who joins us, and thank you to Artcore Gallery for having me here. So I'll begin by introducing myself. I am Maria Cepeda. I am an artist from Colombia, but I moved to the UK in 2016 to do my BA in Leeds Arts University. My career as an artist, though, it didn't really begin in England. It began in Colombia, where I did a degree. It was a technical degree in painting and drawing, and I had the great luck to study with a Colombian artist, called Alfredo Araujo. I think my practice has definitely evolved from what I was doing at that time, but every single thing that I've done has taken me to where I am right now. So I'm really thankful for having that opportunity to learn with him. So at the moment, that must have been 2014, maybe I did a lot of painting and drawing. And my first exhibition was actually paintings. It was 2 massive paintings. I don't think I would do anything like that right now, but you never know what the future brings. When I moved to 2016 to the UK, I was surprised and wondered by the way the education works in here, because it's very self-guided. So you basically decide what you want to do, how you want to do it. You are basically like the owner of your destiny. You do what you want to do. And that gave me the opportunity to fall in love with sculpture. We were lucky to have a lot of really good workshops in the university, and I just loved playing around with every material that I could. So a lot of my time in there, I was just nagging the workshop staff, trying to do crazy ideas, and they were wonderful because they helped me making these ideas come true. So, hey, hello, people joining. So my practice has always had a joining link, which is the human body. So I'm really interested in the human body and its physicality, and the way changing this physicality affects the way you think about the human body and affects the way in which you relate to others. My first works in Leeds Arts University, when I was just playing around with materials. I did a lot of sculptures that were about abstracting the human body. So I used cement, plaster, jesmonite, everything I could get my hands on to do these sculptures. And it was a really enriching experience, getting in contact with all these materials. And hello, more people. And yeah, getting in contact with these materials made me realize how much I loved doing sculpture and how much I loved the materiality of things. There was a key moment for me during my BA degree in Leeds Arts University, which was a residency, which was in Artcore, and I'm really thankful for it. It was called In Real Life, and I did it with Tom Van der Meulen, and we were looking at how digital life and virtual life affects real life. And I did a project based on the creation of avatars and taking these avatars from a digital into a real life sort of experience. And by creating these avatars, I realized that I really enjoyed doing wearable sculpture. And I found that because before that, I kept doing a lot of sculptures and a lot of objects, but I didn't really know how to make them come into a space, like how do they live in a space. And I actually realized like the human body can be sort of a plinth for the sculpture. And then from then on, it just kept rolling and rolling, the ideas. So after this residency, and because I was really interested in wearable sculpture, I started looking at artists which used augmentation in their bodies of work. Artists like Rebecca Horn, who I love, she's amazing. And Lucy McRae, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She was a really great artist. She considers herself a sci-fi artist. And I'll talk more about like sci-fi art in a little bit. This interest of like artists using prosthetics, I got interested in looking at actual prosthetics and what was happening in the field of prosthetics. And something that for me was really like, it sparked a lot of ideas, was that prosthetics, it must have been maybe 2018 when I read this, that you could feel prosthetics, so you could feel objects that didn't belong to your body, as if they were your own, by giving electric impulses to the lumps of people who were wearing prosthetics. And I know now because I'm actually I'm doing my MA dissertation in artists who use prosthetics on their artwork. I know that it's really easy to fetishize the idea of prosthetics and to romanticize it. And I think I did romanticize this idea of prosthetics. And that's what took me into the body of work that I did for my third year of university, which concluded in the degree show. And I was looking at the idea of transhumanism and modifying the body, going beyond the body's limits. And I was basically just thinking about that. And I thought, what would happen if we attach something to the body, which definitely doesn't belong to the body, and we can start feeling as if it was our own? What would happen then? And that's what gave rise to my third year degree show. For that project, I collaborated with Nat, who you might have heard before in an artist talk in here. She was great. She helped me record the video, which we did. And I collaborated with an engineer in the University of Leeds. He was a robotics engineer. He was doing his PhD. And he was really kind and really nice. And he let me use a couple of his robots to do my artwork, which I never thought would happen. But it was really exciting. And it was a really exciting project to work on, where I received a lot of support. And then after this, I applied straight away from my BA to do my MA. I'm doing my MA in the Slade. And I find it really hard to talk about things that you're doing at the moment. So it's ideas that you're still developing, which is the moment in which I think I find myself, which is developing ideas. But I've basically looked a lot at science fiction and ideas of fiction in artwork, so creating like an alternate reality through your artwork. And I'm not going to talk a lot about this. Hey, Nat. But what I'm looking at right now is Colombia has always come into my practice. I'm Colombian. Yeah, I said that before. It's always come and it's always seeping in different ways. And I always get inspired by things in Colombia one way or another. And in this project that I'm working on right now, which will hopefully be exhibited in the summer of 2021, which is when I should graduate of the MA. We don't know what's happening with this whole COVID-19 situation. But Colombia is going to be a lot more present in it. But it will be about creating fiction through art, and that's what I'm thinking of right now. It's really hard to, like, possibly my ideas will develop and it might take another direction, so I don't want to talk a lot about that right now. But yeah, basically I'm inspired by science fiction, books, movies, like Metropolis. I like the aesthetics of all science fiction. And I thought, before moving on, because it's Mental Health Awareness Week, so I'm just gonna talk a little bit about what I do to have a good mental health, and especially now when it's so hard to just keep positive with everything that's happening. I'm a really hands-on person, and I like to keep my hands busy. So I thought I'd show you some of the things, like everything that's in the back. They're little drawings and paintings. They're not that much related to my artwork practice, but they're things that keep me healthy and that keep me keep me from going crazy, basically. And then I've got these little sculptures which I've done as well. I don't know if you can see them. They're like clay, yeah. And I'm just making, it's more like thinking through making and just not stopping, because I like to keep myself busy, and that's what basically keeps me in good mental health. But it works differently for everyone, and I would just encourage everyone to do whatever works for them. I don't know if anyone has any question, but if you have any question, please do ask me. I'm constantly looking at the side comments, so hello everyone. Yeah, let me just wait a second. Okay, so where can you see my art? You can see my art in my website, which is mariacepeda.co.uk, or my Instagram, which is more, sometimes on Instagram I don't particularly post things that are finished, but as I say, I think through making, and a lot of the things that I post in there are processes of thinking about maybe larger projects that I'm doing. So if you're interested in having a look at that, then please do. And okay. And I think something that's really important for my art practice, and I think that's really important for many art practices, is keeping in contact with other creative people, which is something that I really enjoyed doing in my undergrad, and I really enjoyed doing in my master's, because everyone is really inspiring. Yeah, I can't really show you a lot of my artwork right now, because I'm not in London, where I'm based at. I am in Hull. What's the hardest part about being an artist? I think being an artist is not easy in any way. I'm sure no one's parents encourage you to be an artist. Like, they wouldn't say, it's not like being a doctor or being an engineer, where you'll probably get a job and you'll make money out of it. I think the hardest part is really, you have to know that you want to be an artist, and you have to commit yourself to this, and you really have to love it. And it's just realizing that this is what you want. I think that's the hardest part. And after that, it's actually quite fun. It's hard work, but it is fun. Are there any more questions? Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining. if there's no more questions, I might go. I might just wait just 10 seconds. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. And if you've got any other question that you might want to ask me later, then don't hesitate to contact me on my Instagram, or you can message me through Facebook, and I'll reply. I might post the names as well of the people that I have mentioned in the talk if anyone wants to have a look. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.